Gentleman's Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review on Thanksgiving Day. This is 2022, and I was out putting up Christmas lights so that I'd stay out of the kitchen so I wouldn't disturb my wife. And now I'm going to do a beer review, because why not? Guests aren't coming for a couple hours. I don't understand, though, there were no planes in the sky while I was working out in the yard and putting up lights today. And now, of course, they're all coming by. So just ignore them. Here we go. This one is Piney IPA. It's from Ancestry Brewing out of Tualatin, Oregon. You can find them at ancestrybrewing.com if you're interested. This is probably more of a West Coast IPA, I would assume. It's 7.1% ABV and 61 IBUs. I like the sound of that. It's supposed to going to have some tropical and berry stuff in there, but definitely some pine. We'll see. Let's get into it. Okay, here we go with the pour. Wow, that's kind of interesting. This is a darker color than I might have expected. It's not your normal just orangey color. It almost has like some brown and deep red hues into it as well. It's kind of different. We've got a light head on there, just an off-white in color, a little bit rocky on the top. So let's get the nose. Well, it's pretty cold, just straight out of the fridge, but yeah, no doubt about it. Immediately I got some pine on that, and I got a little bit of a citrus scent on that as well. Yeah, you definitely get the pine, you get the citrus. At first I thought orange, but now I'm thinking more towards a grapefruit. There's just there's a little bit of a malty, bready quality and a hint of a caramel on there, which doesn't surprise me with this color. Yeah, it's pretty chill, and it's not going to warm up much out here because it's pretty cold outside, as sunny as it looks. But I'm not getting much more than that at the moment. There's just, I would say, a little bit of an earthy tone along with the pine on that, and there's a little bit of like a zest quality, and it's someplace between that that orange and that grapefruit type of a zest. So let's go dive on in. Oh, that's nice. It's a really easy drinking. Let's see how it develops. Oh, you've got to see how it develops, and that's fun. So it starts off with some nice little bit of malt quality to it. Not so much caramelly, although there's a hint of that. It's more of a bready type quality, but a nice balance in terms of the malts. And you get a nice sweetness on it. Not real big, but a nice sweetness nonetheless. You're getting a little bit of that grapefruit, a little bit, and more on the grapefruit, and definitely just hints of some other type of maybe tropical or whatever. But then on the back side, the pine just starts building and kicks in, and it dries out. It doesn't completely dry, but pretty close, so I'd say it's a semi-dry. I've always liked that quality in a beer, so that has to do with the water balance on there and the chemistry, and it drying out, it just prepares you for another drink. It kind of draws you in. Huh, I didn't have a date on this bottle, and I just picked it up yesterday. I'm looking at it once more just to see, but that's too bad. I kind of wonder if this isn't a little bit old, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because the malt quality, even though I'm getting that piney type quality on it, it's fading away the bitterness to what I call fall, like fall leaves. It has that kind of a quality, and I tend to get that on beers that have been out for a while. Although that kind of works this time of year. So this was probably brewed in the summer, and now it's, late November, but it's still very tasty. Distribution, I thought, was just in pretty much Oregon and Washington, but looking at the bottle, it probably does get some wider distribution because it says Hawaii, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, New York, Delaware, Oregon, Michigan, and interesting that it doesn't mention Washington unless they don't have bottle deposits. So you can look for this beer in other places. And Ancestry is a pretty good brewery. It's one that Christian likes. He likes to frequent, and he's talked about it many times. I don't drink as much beer as I used to, but I might have to get down there. Tualatin is not very far from here. It's very well carbonated. Look at the swirl. Look at the massive head I built back up on that. And as it's warming, I'm getting just the slightest hint of those berry qualities. And when I say berry, I'm leaning more towards like a blackberry type of thing, like we would have around here. As far as tropical, it's hard to tell. If anything, it would be just a slight hint of pineapple on there. It's a fun little beer. It's a nice quality. I feel like it could have some better balance to it, though. Quite frankly, the hop quality, it seems more than 61 IBUs, and maybe that's because all that hop comes to the end, but could almost leave a puckering effect on the mouth, to be quite honest. I've heard great things about some of their other IPAs, so I'm going to have to get down there to check them out. But this is a nice little beer. How would I rate this? In terms of IPAs, particularly West Coast IPAs, I don't know if it really falls under the quality. I love the pininess to it. Again, I like how it kind of dries out on the mouth. That's all fun. But, and it's got a good malt bill on it, I will say that. But overall, it's kind of average. I mean, it's a good beer, but I would give it, in terms of IPAs, an 85. Overall, I'm not going to change it a whole lot. I do like piney quality in beers at times, and I particularly do like how it dries out on the mouth. That's kind of fun for me. I don't mind the fall qualities, and that this is probably a little older, and I didn't realize that, but I'm going to give it a little bit higher grade on my overall. I'm going to give it an 87 because I'm just enjoying some of those qualities, and I like their brewing style. I hope all their IPAs dry out like this a little bit. It's a fun one. Here it is again. It's the Piney IPA from Ancestry Brewing out of Tualatin, Oregon. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I'd say go check them out if you're in the area. But this is a nice little beer. It's worth giving it a try, or try some of their other beers if you can. This is Kevin saying, life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you in another beer review, and I wish you all a very Merry Thanksgiving and Happy Holidays. Cheers.